button or something?
Hey, we made it.
Yay!
Good evening. Hi.
All right. So welcome.
Slight technical problems as usual, but we are here.
Yeah, that was. I'll take that up with Morten, who is out sick today. He's. I'm not even sure how to pronounce the thing that he's got, but it's not comfortable. So he's in hospital and getting better. So I will try and run the show. And you've already seen how well that went. So it's going to be a bumpy ride, but I'm sure it's going to be fun anyway. Yeah, we had a topic for today, which I think is traveling with ham radio. And it's something at least 75% of us do a lot. And maybe we can get the last 25 to do it a bit more often as well. So,
Can't wait to do my next travel to Oslo.
Yeah, you can try.
Hey. It's pretty soon, yeah.
Yeah, but I'll try and remember what Morten does in these situations, and that's probably the ham radio week moments. So let's start in the bottom right. Tobias,
That's me.
How's your ham radio week been?
My ham radio has been very weak. I had a sick cat at home, and I'm apologizing to the guys in the Discord channel who had to suffer through my worries. So yeah, that was the cat on Wednesday after having not eaten for 2 days. And then today I had a brief encounter with my TH79E and realized that the reason why it's not working, the first one that I got, where the display is broken, the display is literally broken, as you can maybe see in that picture. I don't know. Can you embiggen it for a second? Basically, there's a crack in the glass. So I don't know when I picked up that one, but I didn't have that break at the beginning. And at the end of all this refurbishment, it had the crack. And that's basically, the reason why it's not working. The good news is, the cat is... That's from 10 minutes ago. The cat is eating again. So I think things are getting better. And I hope Morten is also getting better very soon. So that was my ham radio week. So not a lot of ham radio.
All right.
Good.
Yeah. As I'm trying to get used to the production thing here. Apparently, Morten does a lot more things than is apparent to me. Sounds good. And really happy the cat is... it's eating again, Tobias. That's it's nice to hear. And I think Morten is, we spoke to him just before the show, and he's very positive. So I think it's going to be all right. But it sounds like a painful situation to be in. So a few more days.
I think he had a few days fever, and then as it didn't get better, he went to the hospital, which was a pretty clever choice, I think.
It turns out that was a clever choice. So he's going to get better, but it's probably quite annoying while it lasts. All right, Jürgen, how about you?
Yep.
Ham radio week.
I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was at my friend's place. He's living just 400 meters away. Mike OEFO-MXB. We did some powder hunting in the afternoon, and that was fun. And we also managed to work the Marquesas Tango X-Ray 7, Tango X-Ray 7 November, the expedition on 20 meters, which was really hard, because of the signal strength. He was really, really weak. Yeah, and on Friday, I tried to find out what's wrong with this little device. This is my docking station for my new Mac Mini, and you may will ask, what has it to do with ham radio? When you plug it in, it will interfere with the Wi-Fi of the Mac. So there is definitely some RF being emitted from this device. and unfortunately, I haven't known this before I bought it. There's a new version which doesn't have the problem, and now I will send it back to AliExpress. I also did a video about it. It's working fine. It's a good thing because you may know on the new Mac Mini, the position of the power on button is not a very clever choice.
Suboptimal.
Suboptimal choice. And here you have this little hole where you can reach the power button. Yeah. I guess, yeah, there many people will say there is no need to turn a Mac off, but I will turn it off as I turn my whole station off here, especially during summertime. Everything is off and unplugged from the power outlet because of the
And
thunderstorms.
don't underestimate how this all adds up, Jürgen. I think a while ago I just checked with one of these power meter plugs how much my Shack just draws in standby. I mean, it was completely off. It's just the computer plugged in the power supply, and it was like 50 watts or so 24/7 doing nothing. So switching things off sometimes makes sense.
With this thing, there's also an SSD slot down here. I did a video about it. And I tried to find out where this interference is coming from, but there's no way to measure it. So probably it runs back over the USB cable back to the Mac Mini and interferes the Wi-Fi. The result is not the signal. It's going down, the signal strength on the Wi-Fi, but the speed is going around about 75% down. So that's that's not good. So I reached out to AliExpress and I will send it back. So that was my ham radio week so far.
Yeah, it's a good week. A little bit annoying with things that don't work. I have to say, in Norway, you talk about turning things off and conserving power and such. In Norway, we need to heat our homes for a pretty large part of the year. So just leaving things on, it just means we don't have to use as many space heaters to keep warm. We can just take the extra energy or the extra heat from computers and the screens and radios.
Yeah, so like the old light bulbs, so like switching for them was a zero energy efficiency gain.
In Norway for at least 6 months of the year, that doesn't make any difference at all. It doesn't.
Yeah, I still have a full stash of old light bulbs if you want them. Haha.
I was trying to get the incandescent, the tubes. I don't know what you call that in English, but I was trying to find that because I had one of these in the ceiling here, and you can't get them anymore. So I had to tear down the old lamp and put a new one up, which is LED.
But don't they do replacement with LED with the same form factor as the incandescents? I think I saw those.
They do?
Yeah, they do.
It's drop-in replacement, same form factor, but LED now.
So now that means that you have something mounted to your ceiling that will transform the 220 volts up to something insane that can drive the incandescent tubes, and then you have replacement tubes that will transform that way back down into the 12 or the 5 or the something volts that the LEDs will use.
Yep.
Clever.
Yep, efficient and probably not noisy at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but you probably can get rid of the starter then.
Let's hope. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
This is turning. We're on to some nice tangents already.
Yeah.
How's your hammer in your week been?
It's been a POTA week. So I've done a few like short activations after work, and nothing really exciting other than when I came to one of those, there was a car parked where I'm usually parked, and there was a really big 10-meter high telescopic mast attached to that car. So that was interesting. There was Lima Bravo 8 Papa Echo, I believe it is, who's also activating a lot in that POTA park, a lot more than me, and that was nice. We had a good chat, and then we were on different bands. I was on 10 meters, and he hopped around on other bands, and well, that worked really fine. No, I wasn't 20. Yeah. Anyways, we worked like 100 meters apart with 100 watts each or 50 or whatever, and well, no interference issues at all. But we were in different bands, so we didn't have park to park, of course. So that was it. Other than that, I've been planning a lot for traveling, been getting some gear ready and so on. So that's going to be fun. And that's basically my ham radio week. I haven't done anything much other than actually just activating the same parks over and over. So.
Yep. So you're about to get the second kilo in that park?
Yes, in that Gjerstren, that one is, I'm at 1,898 QSOs. And in the one I did today, I'm going to have my 4th repeat offender activator, which is 20 activations. So I'm on 19 there. So,
you guys are much more active than I am at the moment. I'm so lazy.
Yeah, the weird thing is here that like I'm alone about these parks. Like nobody else bothers going there, so that is fun. Yeah,
that's a good radio week. I think that's a lot better than mine at least. So
yeah, I think it was 6 or 7 activations or something. So it's active enough at least.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
And you can see Björn Steinar in chat here. That's the guy that was hiding out in the park with the big mast already.
Oh.
And I can also bring in just as a tangent here before I take it over at the Norwegian SOTA group, I think it was another activator in Norway that had visit from some nice police folks wondering what on earth he was doing with his radio.
Yeah, I saw something about that, but he wrote something about that, I think, on Facebook, but I didn't see anything on Facebook. I had to go to the SOTA.no site.
No, it's on Facebook. So
it is on Facebook. Yeah, all
right. So basically, somebody had called the cops wondering who this strange person with the radio mast was, and they came up and took a photo of his ID and so on. But well, if you're just polite when they show up and like show them like this is who I am and this is what I'm doing, then it's not a problem. You're not doing anything illegal.
I think as long as you're not doing anything illegal, being polite should not be a requirement. That just annoys me.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being not being impolite, then, to say it that way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's not go there. That's,
yeah, it was on Pota side. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Bob? Have you done anything fun?
No, I haven't. I shoveled snow on Friday, and
that's a hobby.
At my currently quite advanced age, that's not something you should do, because I threw out my back really badly, and now just everything hurts. Sitting still hurts, lying down hurts, getting up hurts, sitting down hurts. It's just yeah.
So we are really turning into the 80 meters net here. Yeah, Morten is out. The cat is sick. You hurt your back. It's we have a run here. Yeah, be careful here, Till and Jürgen. Something might happen.
I'm already on sick leave, so something is probably wrong with Jürgen as well. But I thought a few months back you were talking about your son and how fond he was of lifting weights in the gym. Like, why does he not shovel this snow for you? It should be fun.
He's, I think he spends most of his energy out there. He's pretty beat when he gets back. He goes to school and he goes straight to the gym afterwards. He's pretty beat when he gets home. It's quite fun to see, because normally he
but on snow days you can skip the gym in theory, right?
Yeah, you can call my son and explain that to him, and we'll see how that goes. So.
Yeah.
No, but it wasn't even a lot of snow. I just wanted to get it out of the way before the rain started and it turned into mush. And I must have done something really, really stupid, because that hurts like hell. It's getting better now. I can move around. I can at least sit up and do some interesting stuff. So I got in the post, I got my let's see, they call Raspberry Pi Pico 2W. That's a mouthful. That's microcontroller boards with wireless network and Bluetooth on them. from Raspberry Pi. Really cool new. They've created once again a new chip for the microcontroller boards that they have. So I ordered some of them, and I've been playing with those. The goal there is to create a remote controllable tuner for a magnetic loop antenna. So I'll try and see if I can make that work with the control going over Wi-Fi. And yeah, so I've been playing around with that. There's about 2.5 billion rabbit holes that you can fall into when you start looking at all the very, very, very cool things that these microcontrollers can do. And I installed the MicroPython on them so that I don't have to write C code. And it's a turnaround time to test and try something is a little bit shorter when you do write things in MicroPython. And I think I like it. It's been fun. So now I just need to climb out of all the rabbit holes that I've fallen into recursively and actually see if I can make something with these cool little modules. So we'll see. And yeah, I can only sit up straight for a few hours at a time, and then I need to do something else because my back hurts like nobody's business. But yeah, that's my week. And with that, I think we should try and visit this week's topic, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
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 That was fast. Wow. 16
Yeah,
minutes.
I can go on another detour. I just remembered I've also played with a microcontroller briefly on the weekend. Let me quickly find the right button.
That's interesting.
This
Microcontroller.
one. I got the what is this called? STM32 Nucleo 32 G whatever. I don't know what's the number. Hang on a second. I have to be able here. G431KB. Because this is what the OM who has programmed the IPS display for the Kenwo TH79E display replacement used. He didn't use the KB variant, but the G431. So last time when I ordered all the electrolytic capacitors from Mauser, I thought, okay, I throw in this little dev board, and I've been playing around a bit with the development environment. And yeah, so far it looks quite powerful. And as you can see, it's the same form factor as the famous ATtiny 328P that everybody is always using. And I think this has a lot more horsepower. So this looks like an interesting board.
It's probably got about 100 times more horsepower than what's
yeah,
in the
it runs at
radio
170 megahertz. Yeah, just
Yeah.
so. And of course, there are also other variants with more pins. So this is the variant which you can still hand solder and has a fewer pins. But I thought it's nicer if you can do it on your bench, right, and don't have somebody to solder the stuff onto your PCBs for you.
What was the cost of it?
Oh, I don't think it was much, like 15 euros or something. I don't think it's a lot.
They are if you get them from Mauser or directly from ST Micro, they're relatively expensive compared to the things you buy on AliExpress. But yeah, it's not really expensive. And that chip, if you buy that in the tens or the hundreds, it's probably less than $2, maybe even less than $1.
Yeah, I've not checked how much that is if I get 10 of those, but I just want to start playing around with it a bit, and I don't even know if I take it any further with my second TH79E, because to tell you the truth, I need a break. I need some other interim project before I get back to that. I've been fiddling since when did I start this Odyssey? Somewhere beginning of December, I think, right? So it's maybe time for a small detour before coming back to that.
You should try the Raspberry Pi Pico 2W. It's so full of rabbit holes that you're not going to come out till next December.
Yeah, but I still have half-finished projects on my desk. I still have the, the PEP upgrade for the SWR on the desk. Yeah, this little peak hold device so that you can measure your PEP power. So that needs finishing. And then there was something else. Yeah, and then I got a small, hang on a second, I'll grab it, 1 second. Then I got from AliExpress one of these upgrade meters for I think it's there's for some Yaesu, yeah. But I found that is a nice metal case, a nice analog meter here. So I was thinking maybe I should turn that into a QRP SWR meter and put the PEP circuit in it. So that is an option.
Cool.
I've already
I have that
taken
meter for my 857, 859.
857, 897. Yeah, it says here on the front. In
and
text.
it's a really nice meter to because the metering on the display on that radio is just abysmal. So just putting that in the back of the radio and adjusting it so that it the levels are correct. That's
I already took the PCB out. It's just the meter now, so it's already planned for something else.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so I've destroyed another 5 minutes, and now we can go to the topic of the stream.
I'll do another tangent that is vaguely related to this topic, because we were talking about this SOTA.no. There's a Summits on the Air Association in Norway, and I think I got first place in the 2024 Operating Abroad category.
Yeah, I think your name featured on those lists there.
Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with that, because I have absolutely no chance of getting on the top of the other lists, because we have some really dedicated operators in Norway. But I think I managed to secure the first place in the Operating Abroad category. So that's sort of related to today's topic, I think.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, the Norwegian SOTA Association has some own metrics or competitions there where you can join in, or where you join in. And well, it's not open only for Norwegians. If you're a foreigner operating in Norway and do the most summits, then you're going to win. So that is fun.
Yeah.
So you can have a really effective weekend, Jürgen, when you're up here.
Yeah. I hope we can do at least this one park when I'm there.
Yeah.
In 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So
that park looks like it's trivial, but if you have the time, I would recommend trying Mistberga as well. That's a 2-pointer, 2 plus 3-pointer at that point. That's really close to the venue as well.
Yeah, what's closest, taking that or driving to Tryvann?
It's faster to drive to Tryvann because you can drive all the way into the activation zone.
Yeah,
but the other place is much closer in kilometers.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Jürgen is joining us up for the Norwegian Ham meeting in a month or so. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
This place is very close to the hotel, as I've seen on the map. But the question is how safe it is to cross the road there. It looks like a big road going to the airport. I'm not sure.
It is.
I don't think you have to cross that road. It looks pretty safe to walk over there. There's a sidewalk.
Hopefully, we will have enough time. I mean, I will arrive at 14 something-ish local time, and I'm not sure when it's getting dark there in February.
When is it getting dark now? 4:35-ish in the afternoon?
We have enough time.
Yeah, more than enough time. This is in a month, so
yeah,
that is not a problem at all.
No.
So that's going to be
great.
No, that's going to be fun. So what we're talking about today is basically traveling with ham radio, and that could be either traveling for ham radio or bringing ham radio on other travels, such as work travels and so on. And I guess at least a few of us here have done that, both of those. And
a very smooth transition, so we can ask Jürgen, what will you bring to Oslo?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe my FX4CR. The problem is maybe the battery. I can bring my smallest LiFePO 4 battery with me. And maybe I will bring one antenna with me.
So how many problems did you guys have with batteries and airport security inspections? There's probably some interesting stories to tell there.
I've only had problems I caused myself, by being an idiot. So, for example, I had a small moped battery, which I used for my activations, which was like an 8 kilo lead acid battery, which I tried to bring in my hand luggage. No, that was checked in luggage. So I was actually removed from the line, and I had to remove it from the luggage myself. But luckily, I knew somebody who worked at that airport who took care of it, so I could pick it up when I was going home again.
You put a motorcycle battery in checked luggage?
I was an idiot at that time.
You were?
Yes.
How old were you?
This is at least last decade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
the
one
first
decade wiser now and use LiFePO batteries inject in luggage now.
No, I don't have them in checked luggage at all. But also the radio got swapped by like that bomb sniffing machine and so on. So they were kind of curious what I was doing. Yeah. So
I have to
But
say,
you never had anybody say you're not allowed to bring that, throw your radio in the ditch or.
No.
never with the radio. Like the radio
Okay.
is simply electronics.
Okay. It's like laptop, right? They just
That's
Yeah.
run it through the
When,
X-ray.
when
and
I
then
was
they're
traveling
happy.
to the United States back the first time back in it was 1994, something like that, or 95. I brought my, what was it? An old Yaesu, the small one, the 890, an FT 890 with me, because we spent 6.5 weeks on a road trip with an RV, and I brought this radio with me, and I had fear, okay, they will take it when at the customs or whatever. Nothing. There was no interest about the antennas or the radio. They asked me, "Do you have something special with you?" And I said, "Yeah, I have this radio with me." "Okay, come aside. Let's have a look." It's a radio. "Do you have food with you?" And I said, "No." That was in California. That was in LA.
Yeah. The only thing I've had problems with customs was that when I went to Croatia, I had a pretty new radio, so I got export customs papers for it. Like if you're bringing something out of the country over a specific limit that's pretty new, you have to have papers saying you actually exported it from the country and bringing it back again, so you don't have to pay VAT again or fight with them about that. And that was a problem because like they couldn't see that it looked new enough and so on when I got back. So when I got the papers, it was no problem. When I got back, they thought this was strange and wanted to check a lot of things. So that was interesting. So I'm not doing that again.
So you created more work for yourself by actually following the.
Yeah, by doing the correct
rule.
thing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm not real big on doing things correctly, so I'm not going to fall into that trap. I'm not quite sure, but I think when me and my son went to the US last year, I don't even think they opened my luggage. I brought the G90, and I can't remember which battery, but I think it was probably a fairly big one. I think it's a 7.5 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery that I brought over. And they just showed no interest at all. Didn't check anything, but I guess. And if you enter the US and your skin is this color, you probably are at an advantage to get through customs faster. So that might be the case. The only thing resembling a problem I had was going back from Mallorca when I was there a few months ago. I have that the small 4 or 5 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery that I've glued 2 power poles to the top and connected. And it looks, if you look at it, it doesn't look completely different from what Hollywood portrays as bombs, homemade bombs. So of course I sent my luggage through the X-ray machine, and someone saw something they wanted to take a look at, and they were really interested in that battery. And of course, I think all the time I was in Mallorca, I didn't meet one person that didn't speak English, except for this customs officer. She took the battery and went away and started looking up things in a really big book. And I tried to point at the amp hours ratings on it, or the watt hour ratings on it, because as a rule of thumb, at least, you're allowed to bring anything up to 100 hours on a plane in your carry-on luggage. And but I don't even think she understood what I said. So I think I spent probably 15 minutes looking at a book, trying to figure this out, and she just came and gave me my battery back, and I was allowed to go. That's the only time I've actually had any sort of issues at all with all the stuff that I bring
I had some similar experience on the stores. I guess I've mentioned this. I talked about this on another stream a while ago. We spent 2 weeks on São Miguel, and I did a lot of POTA. Not POTA. POTA was not a thing back then, but SOTA. And I brought my 7 amp hour LiFePO 4 battery with me. And no issue when traveling down there. But on the way back home, they asked me, what's that? It's a battery. You cannot bring a battery onto a plane. I said, yes, sure I can. And here are the rules of the airline. Check it. I printed it out in English and in Portuguese. And he took the paper, had a look, and he said, okay, you can go. But on the way from Vienna via Lisbon to the Azores, nobody was asking me about the battery. But on the way back home,
you can. I think you can make this much more interesting when you fit a big 7-segment LED voltmeter in front.
Or an old Casio LCD watch. Glued on the top of
it. But I had a similar problem when
and some spiral cables.
Yeah, that's good. Just spiralize the cables. That helps against noise as well, right? So
exactly.
So I have this battery pack here, which I've used for SOTA for many years, and this one has fallen to the ground now, so it's taped together. I'm not bringing that on a plane when it looks like this for some reason. But this one has 10,000 milliamp hours printed on it, and that was not good enough for one guard. Because he wanted it to be specific in watt hours, so he didn't have to calculate. But there's actually a new requirement for these ones now that I hadn't seen, which I checked now, and also that they are 12 volts maximum. So you can you can't bring a 100 volt 10 amp hour battery, or like whatever that means, 100 watt hour battery. So like you have to be below 12 volts as well, or at least written on them.
Where did you send me a link for that? Because that's gonna make it impossible to bring lithium iron phosphate batteries. They have a nominal voltage of 12.4 or 12.6.
Not if they're mislabeled like the one I bought.
That's true. I could mislabel mine.
Yeah, so I bought one now that's labeled as 12 volts and 34 watt hours, and it's nominally or when you look at it, it's 13.4.
Sean has this nice new sticker printer. I'm pretty sure he can.
That was my idea a second ago.
Hammering your beauty industry's batteries everywhere.
Yeah. But with Sean's address printed on it.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So
it's a bit. That doesn't make a lot of sense, that rule, right? Because, whatever's in your laptop has probably more than 12 volts.
Yeah. So it's...
it depends what you mean as well, because a normal power bank will have lithium LiPo cells in it, which will have a nominal voltage of, I think, between 4.2 and 3.7. So they're clearly not 12 volts, but that's why I was interested in this rule, Kjetil.
Yeah, I'm trying to dig it up now. So, but I see it's not listed on the helpful, like the passenger's guide there. So, give me a few minutes and check it up, and I'll find it here.
You also have to always be careful. Is it for transport? Like commercial transporting batteries, or is it hand carry, hand luggage stuff? Because the rules are pretty different, I guess.
If you find the rules for... Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
On planes now, you're not at all in any way allowed to put lithium batteries in checked luggage. If you follow the rules of you can't even take your Apple Watch and put it in your suitcase. That would be a breach of rules for flying now. It's that bad. So anything with lithium batteries you need to bring on you or in your carry-on.
Make sure that your electric razor is in your hand luggage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Additionally to that, I bought some of these fire-safe bags, so I can put all the batteries in there, and then you can wrap it around, and yeah, just to make sure they don't complain.
Yeah.
And,
I would think that if you go through security and you take out all your batteries and see, I put them in an explosive, anti-explosive bag. Look,
Big yellow sign on the front.
I'm not sure that's going to help.
Yeah, I'm sharing now. So here, this is the DGR66EN2.3.A, and in here batteries spare loose, and it non-spillable batteries, which I'm not sure if that is the same as lithium batteries, because lithium batteries are also non-spillable. Must be 12 volts or less and 100 watts hours or less.
But that's spare loose batteries.
Yeah.
So
is a like, say you have a so that doesn't say power bank. So yes, that could be that I'm wrong there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the correct terminology. This is turning into the battery traveling with batteries show now, but
power banks.
The correct terminology is that the thing that we normally call a battery, which is a AAA or a AA or a D or whatever, that's called strictly a cell.
Yeah.
And
so
it only becomes a battery when you connect more of them together. So you can't really have spare loose batteries as such. That would be cells. But
yeah, so power banks are considered as spare batteries.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So and they also actually started listing how many grams of lithium are in them, which is interesting.
This each person is limited to a maximum of 20 spare batteries.
Yeah.
More than 20 batteries. Non-spillable batteries must be 12 volts or less.
I am not sure what they define as that. If that is like old-fashioned lead acid, like AGM batteries or something like that. So that's interesting as well. So this is the entire list of everything you can't wait. You can bring, for example, you can't bring like that. Yeah, you can bring empty camping stoves and so on. Like what's allowed and what's not.
Yeah. So anything
no
that can be
ammunition.
MacGyvered into a explosive, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is an interesting thing, but this is also some of the fun things you can get into if you actually care when you're traveling. And some people just travel and just hope things go well, and things go bad at the airport. But
so how about antennas? You all just take via antennas, or did you ever have big contraptions checked in?
Yeah, I'm sharing one more here just while we're on it. And this is the traveler's guide.
It's the European traveling with batteries show.
Yeah, so this is much easier. But I'm not sure if this is valid anymore, but max 20 spare batteries.
Yeah. Apparently I have to look into this, because the thing is that it's, if you travel only to do ham radio like I do, and like you're going to do next week, Kjetil, it's really annoying if they take your batteries away on the airport going out. I really wouldn't mind too much if they just confiscated my battery going back from Mallorca. I could just buy a new one. It wasn't that expensive. But if it happens going down, you can risk you spend a day to get a replacement battery at the place where you're going, and that would be really annoying. So it's best to be on the right side of this this line, I think, when especially if you're traveling to go on some sort of radio expedition.
Yeah, and also it's not always going to be easy to get the correct cables or adapters or whatever to fit. So that could be a huge mess. At least, I guess in Belgium, I would be able to find like a used car shop and just get the used car battery from there, something like that, or something. You can always fix something, at least in the big cities, but smaller places, you're kind of doomed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to bring this a little bit back to traveling advice, maybe I can say that if you do run QRP, like a 10 watt or a 5 watt radio, I think both Morten and I have shown, and others, that you can easily run these off power banks.
Yeah.
I also did some experiments because Kjetil asked me what I used for this. I did some experiment with the G90 and tried to power that off a power bank. And anything about 4 watts output on the G90, that was too much for the power banks that I tested it with. And they would just collapse. So G90, maybe not on a power bank, but 10 watt radios and 5 watt radios, it should be quite possible to power them from a normal power bank.
I think I have one power bank which is running on LiFePO 4 batteries. Give me a second, I will grab it.
Yeah. So bringing this back to the traveling with radios show, this is the reason I'm not bringing my X6100, because it has an internal battery, but there's no information on it saying what the battery is.
You know what? That guy that insisted on having the watt hours printed on the battery.
Yeah.
You should stand next to him and have him confiscate all the laptops that didn't have the watt hours rating on their batteries.
Yeah, right. Ooh, nasty. Nastima.
Namaste. I think it's from India. No, Nastima. It's. I think I can bring this on every plane easily.
Yeah.
And it also has a 12-volt outlet.
Nice.
It's upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it has 0.8 volt too much voltage rating, right?
Yeah.
You know what? You should check that because well, if it's 4 cells in there, you're probably all right. I've seen some of the banks like that, like the Biltema thing that I got, Kjetil.
Yeah.
It's got 4 lithium-ion cells in it. No, lithium polymer cells in it. And if you put 4 of them in a series and you charge them up completely, they're going to have that one. They're going to have a voltage of close to 16 volts. And you probably don't want to stick that into, let's say, a 705, which is a fairly expensive radio.
Yeah. So this is a 15 volts rated output.
It's a lot more than 15 volts actually when that thing is full.
Yeah, but it says 15 volts on the outside, so 15.7 or whatever. So this is 54.8 watt hours. It runs the G90 and the X6100, but the power level indicator is in the red. So it's they are not happy, to say it that way. I also tried limiting this with a MOSFET, and well, that MOSFET got really hot.
For that power bank, I used that for the 705. I put 2 diodes in series with the with the power lines, and that dropped the voltage enough that I felt comfortable putting it into the 705. So that just putting in diodes till the voltage drops to an acceptable level. That's a simple way of doing that.
I tried it with diodes. They also got really hot. The power level.
You need the big ones.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
They can do something. But Tobias, you asked about the big things to check in. If you can avoid flying, that makes things so much easier than if you just have it in your car. For flying, electronics and such, would you really check in FD or a expensive radio in there, like a 905?
It's electronics, so it has to go into hand luggage, right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
But antenna stuff probably, if it's lumpy bits of metal.
Yeah, metal antennas. No, but I have been bringing the DX Commander travel 10-meter pole and the SOTA beams 10-meter travel pole. They fit diagonally in my suitcase. So just the suitcase is not completely square anymore when it's diagonally in there. It's a little bit crooked, but that's gone all right.
Yeah, and wire antennas are really nice to bring for something like that. They're flexible, they can be easy to set up. But I did get myself one of these small kits with vertical antenna and the coil. So I'm gonna bring that down. It's still in the mail. So that is gonna be fun to test out.
Yeah, there was some messages in the chat today. I think somebody tested the JPC 12 antenna. That was Heinrich, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The new JPC 350, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think they're quite small, so you can probably get them into a nice little bag.
Yeah, the one I purchased was a JPC 12 antenna. So I know they can be. Some people see they are hard to tune. So, but I'm gonna play around with it at least. And this goes to like 40 through 10 meters or something. And with the G90 tuner, well, it doesn't have to be that perfect.
Tunes everything.
Yeah,
that's right. Also, the 6100 tuner tunes everything. That's great. It's a nice antenna, but it depends where you are. I mean, if you're in the desert, you may well have a problem with SWR. If you're at the beach, no problem.
No problem.
Yeah, but
this one comes with the ribbon cable for radio.
Yeah, that's going to be
the
replaced.
first thing you have to throw away.
Yeah.
Why?
It's going to be modified.
Yeah,
because I've seen some people using that as a single counterpoise, but I think that the idea is that you're supposed to divide that into all the different strands of the ribbon cable, so that you get 8 or 12 or 16 radials. I don't see any reason why that shouldn't.
But
shouldn't work.
It sounds like single use to me. You know, how long will that last before it breaks, right? So probably 2 deployments and it's ready for the bin.
No. That's not the case. But my experience is the performance, performance is better when you choose better cables, thicker cables than these ribbon wires.
Also, counterpoises are like there. At least there's some link between the length of them and which band you're on. So you may want to have a few sets. So I'll probably spin up one for 40 and one for 20 and one for 10 or something like that. So that
when they are on the ground, it's not a big deal. If you make elevated radials, then you have to tune them. But when they are laying on the ground, that's not a big deal. My counterpoise wires are, I guess, 5 meters long or so.
Yep.
I'm using 6 to 8 radials, and I have no problem tuning the antenna from 40 meters to 10 meters. So
I find the same thing when they're on the ground. I use for that kit that I always bring. I think there's 3 by 2.5 meters radials that I put on the ground, and does the job for me.
Yeah, luckily I have a few hundred meters of ribbon cable after that junk sale from before Christmas. I think I got like a few hundred meters of ribbon cable on that. But I'm also gonna bring wire antennas, simple wire antennas, and SOTA beams mast. So I'll have alternatives, and that's a great thing about like a wire antenna. You can bring 5 of them on the plane without like a weight issue.
Yep. Yeah. I see Rasmus says that ribbon cables tend to tangle less. W2 Alpha Echo Whiskey. Is that Alan? Am I remembering correctly? You can comment if that's Alan, Rasmus, because if you don't know who Alan is, he creates YouTube videos. He works for Textronics, and he's pretty brilliant dude. But I'm not quite sure if that's his call sign or not. Yes, he says. I'd recommend his YouTube channel. You can learn. I don't know anyone that can learn an awful lot by watching his videos. So check him out.
Yep. Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
So when you're traveling something like this, I know at least Bod, you like to plan all the summits you're going to, right? Or roughly.
I think you do a better job of planning than I do. I think I look at the map and I list summits that I want to go to. I wouldn't call it planning, because I rarely look too much into the how hard the climb is going to be. You know that from somebody. I went to your part of the country and tried to do some summits, and one of them almost killed me. That was literally straight up.
Yeah, but you know, you're talking to the guy who was going to Denmark and ended up in Switzerland this summer, right? So, so I'm not that good at planning, but for this one, I'm planning. For those who don't know, I'm planning a trip down to Oscar Novemberland, Belgium, and let's see, sharing here, Bob, if you want to show.
Yep.
So, for those who know, Belgium is a great mountain country. It means that they have some amazing summits down here in the south of Belgium, which are 8-pointers and have winter bonus. And especially this one, Signal de Botrange. Here you can park, and there is a good restaurant here, and you can enjoy some dinner and so on, and then activate. And there's also a POTA or flora fauna there for those who enjoy that kind of thing.
It's a drive-in summit.
Yes,
So
it's drive-in.
Why are we
With
doing
catering.
our TEHRS summer trip not there? Sorry.
Yeah, we should. So basically, I'm flying in here in Brussels and going down to this France here, probably into Luxembourg, and then maybe Germany. This isn't that far from where you live, I think, Tobias. And then up here and doing these Belgian ones, and maybe also into Netherlands.
I think this is about as far in Germany you can get from where Tobias lives. But
Okay.
yeah.
But in any case, like a good thing when you're looking at these ones, if you're using Sotlas, in here you can see like the summits, they have a activation count, like how many have activated. But you can also go in, say if you're using QRZ and Grid Mapper, you can go in and you can go to the same location and click on this grid, and then suddenly you'll see like people, whoever lives close to here as well, which is really nice because then you can send them an email and ask them like, how do you get there? Would you like to join me? Stuff like that. So there's a lot of fun things you can do on these trips as well as other than just activating yourself.
This is so cool because oftentimes when I'm traveling, I will see a house with some huge antenna rig on it.
Yeah.
And I wonder, who's that? So this is the way to find out. I wasn't aware.
Yeah, what's important to know is that these spots, these locations are randomized within the grid.
Yeah, right. But
so this is not the exact location, but you can get a pretty good image, at least if there are not very many of them in a specific grid. So for that, you can find out, do that person who activated last do that, or you can also go in here to the summit, and you can see if somebody has activated this time like 10 times or something. You can send them a mail and ask them because they're probably local.
You see the top one there. I think we have Lima Bravo 5 Uniform India. I think he lives down there.
Uniform Juliet. Yeah. Yeah.
True.
So also Sotlas in here, you get photos, but you can also get these nice trails that tell you here. And also in here, there are resources with links like parking position and track entry position on that summit. Great help when you're not local. So probably you can drive here. Probably that is not very legal because it looks like a farm road. But if you park up here, it's just a kilometer to walk. And that's what the locals say that you can use.
The nice thing about activating for summits in Belgium is that all the signs that said no entrance and no driving, they're not in Norwegian and they're not in English.
Yeah.
So that's called plausible deniability.
Yeah, like in Germany, it's pretty simple because it says verboten, but it says that everywhere. So it's not that...
everything's verboten here, so you don't know either. So just...
Yeah. But see, like, this is a slag heap. So it's actually an artificial SOTA summit. But there are some, like, these tools taken all together, are really nice. In POTA, I guess you can also go in here. This is the one we're talking about in Oslo.
Yeah.
And you can go in and see who has activated them many times. And well, these are locals, we know them, but still, it's a good way to try to find people who are active close by and get help in getting activated, or if there's anything local you need to know.
And that's one of the interesting parts of the hobby. When you're traveling with the radio, you always will find someone to talk or to meet.
Yeah.
And that's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So at least for this trip, I agreed on a meeting with one guy down there and started talks about another. And then, like, maybe if I see some house with big antenna on, I'll stop. That didn't work very well this summer. I went to Denmark, knocked on a house, and turned out that was from an old guy who owned the house 25 years earlier. And the young girl who lived there had no idea what those antennas masts were for.
Yeah.
That was
As long as they're properly grounded, she's fine.
Yeah, that was a huge tower with like beam antennas and so on it. It's a real shame that it's there just falling apart.
To rot, right?
Yeah.
Talking about meeting people. Today I released my old video from the Maldives, my 8Q7UE activation on Corrado Island, and there was at one day, my wife was out sitting there relaxing, and there was a guy circling around the beach bungalow or the beach villa. And then she came in, I was on the radio, and she said, "Hey, there is a guy watching your antennas. Maybe he's from the hotel." Then I get out and said hello, and he said, "You are the ham?" I said, "Yes." And I said, "Yes, I'm also a ham. I'm 8 Quebec 7 Quebec Charlie." That was Ibrahim.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that's nice.
You will always meet people.
Yeah, it's nice when the weirdos who are circling your bungalow are the same kind of weird as you are, right?
Yeah. So,
I had that in Mallorca. I don't know. He didn't speak much English, but I was coming down off a mountain, and I fetched a car, and I met some of the other people that had been on the summit at the same time. This was a nice summit with a restaurant on it. And this German guy comes up to my window and he said, "You have funk." And I said, and he says, "You have funk." And that probably means you have radio or you have something. Yeah. That I'm not sure if he knew a great deal of many more English words, but he, that's an experience.
Isn't it Funkamateur in German?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. Funk is probably what he said. You have funk. So
yeah. I can see we get a question here about the SEPT agreement and so on. I'm not sure if we can cover that, but I've never traveled anywhere not covered by SEPT, at least. Have you guys?
Yeah, United States. I mean, we have this agreement with them, so it's not
we have
problem.
a reciprocal agreement, so you can stay there for half a year. Same with Australia and Canada and a few other countries.
I can't remember what I was looking at. Some cool places to go, and I don't think they were covered. Like in Asia, for example, like let's say Thailand, I don't think it's covered.
Yeah.
So absolutely, there are places, and there are also places that Europeans like to vacation, like Thailand and such. But traveling around Europe and the US, I'm not sure about Canada, but I'm guessing Canada is included as well.
But like there are a few, like I think is it Andorra and Gibraltar, which are not part of it. So you have to have specific permits.
In Gibraltar, you can. That's pretty simple as long as you stay on 2 meters or 70 sims. If you want to do HF from Gibraltar, that's one of the things that I looked into because I wanted to activate the rock. And if I did that, I would have to do that on 2 meters. Getting permission to do HF there that's not happening.
Yeah.
So just for fun, recently I googled South Korea. Right? Can you do ham radio there? And they seem to have some pretty strict regulations. So I might be talking complete nonsense there. All my knowledge comes from a website, and I don't know how up to date it was. So there seemed to be the possibility to get a 1 month's permit and a 3 months permit, and it costs a fee. Of course, you have to have your local radio license, and then you get your HK/assigned. And funnily enough, when you get the 3 months permit, they want to do a radio inspection, because apparently the radios there are certified, so they have a certain sticker on that they are nice, clean radios, right? And you have to pay another fee when they come at any random time and inspect your radio, right? To be, in compliance. That's looked a bit complicated, but I think the 1 month permit is pretty easy to get.
Yeah.
I think some of the people in the Norwegian Association, they activated in South Korea, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
But they did it with locals, so that's always a good thing. Like talking to the locals and having help from them, and in some cases you may need to have a sponsor as well, even to get the visa to be allowed to enter into the country. So, but one trip there that I've heard others do is actually buy the equipment locally as well, or borrow it. If that's legal, so that takes care of a lot of things on the border. So
True.
Yeah, if you have anyway some local contacts, they might as well hand you the radio for your trip, right? Borrow it for a week or so.
Yeah, or just join you for the SOTA activations or whatever, so you get the country in the log. So that's the fun.
Yeah.
And if you cannot get a license for a specific country, check if the United States is having a reciprocal agreement with them, and just take the US license exam. And then
I think we had a whole episode about that, if I remember right. Yeah,
that was my first appearance on the show.
I think the clincher was you had to have a local US address in order to be able to do that. So that might be a problem.
That's not a problem. Simply take a mail forwarder. That's all you need.
Okay.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah, I think you're going to say the same thing, Kjetil.
Yeah, something that we're getting very close to the time here. So we managed to fill another hour.
That's
without me having
pretty
anything
amazing.
to contribute.
At least part of this has been about traveling with ham radios, not just about battery technology. So that's something.
So for next week, we have a guest on the show. We have Charlotte, Mike 7, Hotel Juliet, India, who's talking about how it was to get her license. She's, I think she got her license in, was it December or something, from Scotland? So that's going to be really nice.
Yep.
And she's also really active on Discord.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, for hamshow.eu/Discord, for those who don't know about that. We're really nice and friendly over there.
Yeah. Any more ladies, welcome. Haha. That was delusional. Okay, I take it back. No.
I think the percent, we already have 2, so I think that's more than the average.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess.
I think that's it for this weekend. So
yeah,
I guess it's time to say 7-3 and wish everyone a nice week. And welcome back next Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah.
See you soon.
And keep your fingers crossed for Morten, right?
Yep.
Bye, guys.
7-3.
Bye.
7-3.
See you. Bye.